Rise and shine, everyone. It is Merleworld card time, and I'm Merlin. And today's show, we are going to show you some Type 3 and 4 photos and explain the difference. Hello everyone, like I said, rise and shine, it's Merleworld card time. Please make sure you subscribe and leave some comments in today's video. And I would be so thankful if we got some conversation going in the comments below. So leave a like, smash that bell button, whatever you can. And let's start today's show off. Like I said, it's going to be Type 3 and 4 photos. So let me show you all these different photos and I will explain to you the difference between 3 and 4s. I am about to tell you about Type 3 photos. Type 3 photos, just like Type 1, are made within 2 years of that photograph image being taken by that camera or film camera. And it is from a duplicate negative, not the original negative. They take a duplicate negative from the original negative. What does that mean? That means the quality is not as sharp and the contrast is not as good as that original negative was. Things like blacks are going to bleeding, your black's not going to be as strong. You may not see the lines. Like if there's black over black, you're not going to be able to tell. It's going to bleed kind of in because the detail, the contrast isn't there. And I found this one on eBay. If y'all didn't know, a Type 1 photo of Michael Jordan from his first game with the Chicago Bulls in 1984 just sold for $175,000. That's right, $175,000. Michael Jordan is probably one of the most popular players that people are buying of different types of photos. Also, Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio, Honus Wagner, all those vintage ones. Think of other greats like Jim Brown of football. I'm sure Terry Bradshaw, basketball, anywhere from Wilt Chamberlain to Kareem to Magic to Larry Bird to Michael Jordan, and so on and so on. So I got something I was able to afford. I already knew it was a Type 3. And here it is. Now this, again, this is clean, but again, you don't see the logo on the back, but you do see this little like print right there. It says South Florida. Let's say South Florida Images. So it's probably like a newspaper there, and Lewis is probably the photographer. I'm assuming it's the last name. And here it is. It's still a great, beautiful photo because I like this nice action shot. Action shots are probably the most popular of sports photos. I think anything, where there's action or something, more funny and unique of that photo, that makes it like more special, makes it in more demand. But anyway, Michael Jordan here with a nice layup. This is from, what's it say, 1990s, it's circa 90s. I think it's actually from, I don't know what year it is, but oh well. Does it say on the back? No, it doesn't even say on the back. But it just said circa 90s. They know it's a Type 3. South Florida Images. And again, this one is a photograph. It says photograph on the top. And I found this on eBay, again, with the letter. You see the letter here. So I bought it with just the letter, and then I sent it to PSA with the letter to get it slabbed, because I'd rather just have it slabbed instead of laying around like that and get ruined. Well, if y'all know, I love me some wrestling. And these are publicity photos or press photos where it has the printing of it and the logo of the league or whatever, or the subject. Sometimes they will have DNA on the back if they're used for the press or publication, but this one's pretty clean, except it just says something about being published, something in 1985. So they used this photo. Anyway, I love wrestling, and one of the biggest stars, and this is when he won the World Heavyweight Championship in 1984. It's Hulk Hogan, and it's a color photograph. Look at that, him flexing. Hulk Hogan is the 9th WWF champion with the World Wrestling Federation logo on it. And this one is from 1984 when he won the world title for his first time. So this is Type 3. It even says publicity photograph. It'll either say press photo or publicity photo. Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster. I've showed you one of my other favorites to collect too is NASA photos. Here is a NASA photo. Again, I thought I took a chance. I thought this might be a type 1 because it does have the NASA stamp. If you put that that number in, that code number into Google, this photo will pop up. This original photo will show up from the NASA, registry or whatever it is you call it. It's kind of cool. But I think you want red ones. This one could just be a black one. And I think that was a giveaway, but lesson learned. This is a type 3, and this is a lunar thing or whatever, lunar car or whatever on the moon. And it even says, it's kind of funny, someone wrote on it, said Apollo 16 Lunar Grand Prix, Commander John Young. I guess he's the guy driving the Grand Prix lunar car, the lunar buggy. Yeah, John Young, Apollo 16, 1972, folks. And like I said, it says photograph, not original photograph, just a regular photograph taken from duplicate negative. And believe it or not, music press photos can be worth just as much as a type 1 photograph, but you want a nice one that's dated from that original year. I think that's more important to have it originally from that when that photo was taken. I mean, I would love to have a type 1 photo of this photo, but here it is. Nirvana from 1991. There's Kurt, Chris, and Dave. Dave with no beard. Look, he looks like he's like 18 years old. Look how young they are. 1991. Even has the photographer's name right here on the side. I've seen press photos with and without the photographer's name on the side, but if you can, try to get one with the photographer's name on the side. And there's Nirvana there, and it says type 3. This also says publicity photo. And it says David Geffen Company. I guess David Geffen was the label that they were under at the time. And again, it's a clean back. I think someone wrote something, I don't know what it says on there. They used it for press, and they wrote some stuff on the front, but that's okay. The more crap on the back, the better it tells of a story. This is called the news service photograph. That's right, a news service photograph, type 3 of the moon, folks. The moon, type 3 from 1927. And so this photo was taken around that same time from 1927 because there's actually, look at the DNA. See, I thought this was type 1 photo too, because of all of the DNA on the back. Like, how could I go wrong? How could I go wrong? 1927. This is a tinier one. This is not usual 8x10 or 8x11. This is more of a 6x9 or something. I don't know what it is. But a beautiful photograph of the moon. You see the craters in the moon? And then you kind of see, it says the Moon International Newsreel from 1927 news service photograph. From WWF Titan Sports from 1984, who was the other big goat of wrestling back then. And then, you see the stuff. Look at all the DNA on the back on this one. So this was definitely used for a publication. And I'll show you some pretty cool when I turn this one around. But it's Andre the Giant. Looks like he's going against Mr. Fuji and someone else, and he's squatting on him. Definitely the way that smile he's looking and that fist up in the air, he's definitely farting on him. And if you look on the bottom, it says for newspaper use only, which you didn't see on that Hulk Hogan one. And I thought that was pretty cool. This is a very clean photo. And it even says 1984 on here, Andre the Giant, WWF, Titan Sports. And then you see on the label, publicity photo. And then if you scan a QR code on the back, it'll give you more information about this photograph. And it says date used 1984. So this was actually used when this publicity photo was made. And then last but not least, it is one cool band. I love this photograph. Some people thought this was their cheesy year, but I like the disco version of this band. I was a kid. Heck, what can you blame me? So kind of, not much on the back too. Kind of clean back. Some writing on it. But anyway, it's Kiss. And this is, again, publicity photo. may have it listed as a press photo or publicity photo on eBay or whatever search engine you use. Type in press photo, you'll find a lot of these. This is from 1977. I think this is the year they performed I Was Made for Loving You, Baby. I was made for loving you, baby. I was made for loving me. I've seen them in concert. I saw them the week right before we went down in COVID pandemic lockdown, shut down at the Staples Center, now called Crypto.com Center. But this is Kiss, the original band members, and all the label logos on here. Now, the seller had this listed as a type 1. You know, it was the beginning stages of buying these things. I was still naive. I didn't know. But again, these type of photos are type 3s. Don't be fooled. Do not buy this thinking it's a type 1. Luckily, I didn't spend $1 million on this. This is from 1977. It says, what's it say? It says Acoin Management. I guess that was their management firm. They put that on here. But of Kiss. And that's type 3 photos. Publicity press photos of movies, TV. Those are usually like, lobby cards, movie lobby cards. Those are press. Those are type 3s as well. If you see those automatically with stuff all in it, like overlays, if there's like stuff on top of the photo, that's pretty much a type 3. Can I be wrong every now and then? Yeah, I'm wrong. I'm still learning about these things. Type 4, it is made after 2 years of that photo taken. And that's the last thing you want. I have one of Kurt Cobain, and they look like crap. They're very grainy. The detail, the contrast is terrible. The lining of it or whatever, the lines are bad. They're kind of bleeding in. That's the last thing you want. Do they sell? Yeah, I'm sure if you got a type 4 of historical figure and it was still made like in the 50s or 40s of like Honus Wagner or Babe Ruth, people are still going to want them. They want to still own something that they hold on to and look at and just say, hey, I own a Babe Ruth or a Mantle or an Einstein or Thomas Edison. Here's the first one. When I got, got a little excited. So when I got this one out of the box, I had a little crack on it. So I'm gonna have to send it back because slabbing is optional for type 4 photos, and it costs $50 to authenticate and another $30 to slab. So I'm gonna have to pay another $30 to get this one slabbed again because I dropped it. I had butterfingers. And this is a type 4 photo, famous person from a famous band, not alive. It is Kurt Cobain. This is a type 4. This probably was shot in the early 90s because, he passed away in 94. And it said this photo was developed in the 2000s. So obviously that's after 2 years. Look at the, if you can get a closer shot, I'll do an insert as well. See the kind of graininess, and it's a little flatter because if this was a type 1 or 2, you would tell the different. There would be more depth between Kurt Cobain and the wall background, but it's kind of more compressed and flat and a lot more grainier. It looks like it was taken off a negative photograph. I think it explains it actually in the verification description, so I'll have that insert as well. There's nothing on the back. I should have known better, but I sent this in to guess because I had a feeling this was a type 4, and I wanted to show you the viewers. So this was pretty much a sacrifice. Also, I thought this photo would have been a type 3 because I had no clue when this was developed, but there is newspaper publication editorial notes back here so you can see how they were going to crop it, explain it when they would post it all in the newspaper. This photo was taken in the 50s. It says so in the description and the verifications below. If you scan the QR code, the verification description will pop up just like the pop report. Really cool. This is Albert Einstein. As you all can tell, he's got that iconic look. There's some teletype here, but like I said, This isn't taped on. It looks, I thought it was taped on, but it's actually, you know, what doesn't even matter if it was taped on. This could be taped on, but the thing was that this photo was taken after 2 years of this photo made, and it definitely came off another negative because, again, there's a lot of compression, the hues, the contrast, and the depth is pretty flat. There's a little graininess to it. It just looks like and it says it's a press photo. So even if it says press photo, you pretty much know it's going to be already a type 3. It says this was developed in 1989, and the photo was made back in the 50s. So obviously do your math, that's past 2 years. This is a type 4 photo. So there's your type 4 photos. Voila. Thank you so much for watching all my photos so far. I have already got a type 1 and 2 video already out. If you haven't seen it, make sure to go to my archives and watch it. After this, I will be posting a video pretty soon about what if the photo is oversized, and is there such a thing as rejected photos? Well, let me tell you, I've got some rejected photos, and they explain why they were rejected. You just can't print or copy a photo and get it authenticated. It has to be real. And if you've ever worked with real film, you know real film is a lot different than digital copies. So they know the difference in the DNA. And I'll also have another PSA video reveal of about, I think, 7 or 8 photos that came back. These are some gems and some gems that got rejected. So it'll be some really cool things, and it's an education for you and me both. So I hope you learned something about photos today. And make sure to leave some comments below. Like I said, subscribe, like, follow me on Instagram at Merleworld Cards, TikTok at Merleworld Cards. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you on the next video. This is Merlin from Merleworld Cards.